Hello and welcome to Career Companion. In our last video we set up the company structure, and now we're going to be entering in all the information on the companies that will be attending our career fair. As in our last video, I'm going to be using my tutorial application that I made, so there isn't any data currently entered in. So I'll be showing you two ways to enter information. One is by hand and the other is from a file, and I'll show you from a file first since it's the easiest and the way that most people will probably be entering in lots of data. And as before, we have our spreadsheet with all of our data already in it. So when you're entering your information using a file, you're going to want to have it in a spreadsheet like so. And when you save, you need to make sure that you save as a CSV, a comma separated value file, .csv. So there might be a couple in my version of Excel. There's like 3 different CSV. Pick the one that says comma delimited, and you save it, which I already have it saved, so I won't overwrite my file. And then you should be able to use it to enter in all. So to enter it in, you go to the bottom of the company data page, click choose file, and navigate to wherever you have the file and select it. When you open it, it'll ask you if it has a header row, which the way we have it set up, it does have a header row with our name and the website and all of our names of our attributes that we have set up in the applications page. So we'll say yes, and it'll pull all the data and enter it in for us. Really easy. Now, one thing to note: if you do want to use a header row, you have to make sure that each of your headers is in the same format as your attribute name. So, like, we have name, which is a required field. Don't forget about that one, even though it isn't in a button. So we have our name, and then website, and then all majors, only lowercase underscores and numbers, like it is over here, and you should be fine. If you don't want to use a header row, then what you can do is take all these sections and sort it from left to right. So each of these will be, oh, that's hard to read. There we go, that's a little better. So it'll sort each of these rows based on the value in row 1, which is the same order we have set up over here. And then we need to delete our header row, save it, and then when we go through, okay, I've already deleted all the data. Now when we open it and say, no, we don't have a header row, then it will break. So I will figure out why that happened. I remember why it broke. So when you sort these, you want to keep your name as the first element. So the name always goes first, and then it's alphabetical. So we're going to sort just this row, or these columns, based on the first row. So now we have the name, and then we have each of our elements sorted in alphabetical order. So the name will be put into here, and then all of our attributes will be added over here. So now if I delete my header row, save, I didn't save any of my data, so when I reload, none of the companies are going to be there. We open the file, we don't have a header row, then you still get all the information. Honestly, it's a lot easier, in my opinion, to have a header row, because then you don't have to worry about having everything in the right order. So if you want to enter information by hand, it's pretty straightforward. Start fresh. There's an add company button down here at the bottom. Just add the company, change the name, And if you'll notice, when I'm editing these names, it says there aren't any restrictions on the company's names, like in other cases where we were restricted to only lowercase letters, numbers, and underscores. That's not the case with company names, because most company names have spaces and some other characters and such. So we're not going to restrict you on that. Endangered. Alright, so we have our 3 company names put in, then we'll go through and just select all of the elements that go with that company. So for J&B Management, we have all majors, and it's a for-profit company. Then the website is jbmanage.com. The White House is looking for architectural engineers. They're a government company, and their website is offwhitehouse.gov.com. And save the insert endangered species here are looking for biomedical engineers and computer information technology majors, and they are a nonprofit company. SaveIt.org. So if you have a couple simple changes to make to your company data, then doing it by hand might not be a big problem. But if you have a lot of data to change, then you're going to want to enter it in from a file. So now that we've entered all the data, if we go to the application, then you'll see I haven't saved it yet because it says no company data. So if I save, either using Control S or clicking the Save button, we go back and refresh the page. Now we have all of our company data. So, and it's all in the order we defined in the structure, and it contains the data we defined in the company data page. And it's also in the order that it was in the company data page. There's currently not a way to switch the order of companies. You'll have to change the order in your file and then re-upload the data. Also, if you enter data from a file, it'll erase all your current entries and then add all the companies from the file. So if you have some that are in here that you don't have in your file, then you'll want to add them to your file before you enter in all the data. And that's how you enter in company data. I hope this video has been helpful, and if you need help editing the layout of your application or figuring out how to use our map system, then visit the other sections of our help.